So to get to Millville, GPS doesn't even work, I don't think. So it's not like you need it though. We're just gonna look off visuals.
All right.
That Route 55 that we can take. So we're gonna depart here, go to the south, use the big practice field, the big rectangular field as a reference.
Okay.
The Bravo shelf's at 2,000 feet there, so we'll, you know, stay at 1,500. Get to Route 55, and as you get a few miles away, then we can start climbing as needed.
I'm sorry, what was the heading?
Just south.
All right.
It was 180. I'll just go visual the whole way.
Good.
Yeah,
that'd be helpful. Alright, get on the pre-flight stuff. Before start, passenger brief. Fuel selectors on both. Relax off, brakes hold. All in. Parking brakes off. Mixture rich, carb, heat, cold. Beacon is alright. Yep. Master on prime required. What do you think?
One shot.
One pump.
After watching that guy start. It's always better to run it dry than it is to over prime it. Especially on hot summer days, because then you get in the risk of fire on startup. Clear! And then do left hand on starter, right hand on throttle. Alright, clear left and right. Doesn't even sound like it's close, so I would give it another shot of primer. Just because you don't hear like any ignition going on at all on the...
Alright. Steer both sides.
And hear how it like sputters a little bit? It actually went away already. If it started sputtering and go to mount, it's an idea. It's a reference to just pull the mixture back immediately.
Okay.
Just because it's sputtering because it's got too much fuel, so it's trying to burn it. But there's too much fuel inside the cylinder, so the combustion's happening, but there's still fuel sitting behind. So it's not all combusting.
Alright. Low pressure. Checks. Temperature, I guess we're coming up.
Alright, mic check.
Sounds good. Can you hear me?
Yep. Got you loud and clear.
Alright. You are totally tangled.
What's on, David?
Mixture lean, flaps up.
The reason why you can hear the flaps going up is because the squelch on here is turned up really high.
Right.
But it's just preference.
Alright. So, I think we're good to do a brake check, yeah?
Yep. Cleared left, cleared right. And as we go towards the summertime, it's even more important to clear left and right because you never know who the hell's coming through here on a bike or a golf cart.
Okay. My brakes checked.
Alright, my controls.
Your controls.
And your flight controls.
My controls. Alright. So, looks like we're going to be taking off here, right?
Yep, 27.
So where do we want to run up?
You could go up to the fuel farm or even all the way to the windsock.
Got some birds right overhead.
If you ever are going by the fuel farm, you know, just make sure that there's no one behind you and no one's getting gas and all that stuff. Other than that, I always go to the windsock, but sometimes there'll be like a, I wouldn't say an executive jet or anything, but usually a King Air comes in here and will park there or something like that.
So
or like a Pilatus. Sometimes they'll park down there, so that sometimes we don't have that space available.
So it looks like it's direct crosswind now. Whoops, sorry. Which way should I point in this case?
So you could continue going to the
Next
first one because
Right here?
yeah,
Okay.
because the winds are supposed to be from the northwest. And that's actually the ground-based
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay.
weather system that we have.
Whoops. Alright. Is that one
And then
bar?
for all that noise,
Right.
use the static on one of the, or squelch, I'm sorry. If it's not working on that one, you could try the top one. There you go.
Okay.
And after doing that, because you don't know if you just turned it right, like down too far to the point where you'll be able to receive people.
Right.
Ideally, you should because you only went slightly past the point where it stopped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always just ask for a radio check as needed,
Oh, okay.
especially because these are kind of old.
Would you do that now?
Well, we'll ask for a radio check at some point.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
good.
Alright, so before takeoff, brakes hold, doors, windows closed and locked,
Oh,
both
good.
sides. Flight controls check, so.
Right arrows down, elevator goes up, then rudder left and right. Moving freely, and to the right, right ailerons up, left ailerons down. And we're free of inside obstructions, and then I always do it again, so that way
Yep.
you double check inside obstructions as well as any binding or grinding in the controls.
Looks good. Flight instruments.
That's good. I'll get Philly's altimeter setting, even though we could set that to 162.
Okay.
Philly is 3020, and that was 47 minutes ago.
So we're about there anyway.
And we are good on TFRs.
Due west here.
Oh, there's a TFR Dover Speedway soon. May 1st.
Oh yeah, NASCAR probably.
Yeah.
My buddy does some stuff for them. Alright, what else do we need to check? That is 0. That's good. That's good.
And then it is required to make sure you have a deviation card available.
Okay.
So that's just saying for heading up north, you actually fly a heading of 005
Right.
in this plane, accounting for all the
Yeah.
avionics and crap that
Yeah.
throws that off.
Okay. Fuel selector is on both. Mixture rich. Throttle 1700.
Yep, that is verified no one's behind you. And then also as you hold the brakes and throttle 17, make sure the plane's not moving, and then you
Right.
can put your head in your lap again or hold the checklist up high, whatever works best.
Okay, 1700. Not moving. Magnetos check.
No more than a
Yep.
125 drop. And no more than a 125 drop, no more than 50 RPM difference between each drop.
That's good. Suction check. Ammeter check.
So the other thing you could do is put a load on it and it recovers. You
Yep.
just missed the other most important one. Let's get past it.
Carb heat on. Check
Yeah.
for. Oops, sorry, I did.
Yeah, engine instruments.
Okay, so what do we check there?
Just verify oil temp pressures.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The only engine instruments we have on this thing, but some
Okay.
aircraft will have like a CHT or EGT, exhaust gas temperature.
Yeah, alright. I think I got confused
Wanted to
with
check
what.
that.
Alright, ammeter check, suction check, carburetor heat on. That was about 50. Idle. Check. And carb heat out, right?
Yeah. Keep that out, so it looks good.
Alright, throttle. I guess I could put carb heat in there.
Yeah, because as you increase
Yeah.
throttle 1,000, it'll increase past it once you put the R
Okay.
in. That's a shitty job.
Alright. Radios set. mixture lean for taxi, about an inch. Departure review, so I guess take off at 55. I forget the review.
So this is just a review to talk with your co-pilot, or second in command, or whatever it is. In the event of an engine failure or abnormality prior to rotation speed, so before 55 knots, you're just going to abort the takeoff, throttle meet, close brakes as required, stop straight ahead. If there's not enough runway remaining for a complete stop, then you're going to have to cut off the mixture, cut off the fuel selector.
That's right.
Pretty much just shut down fuel and spark and avoid obstacles on the ground. In the event of an engine failure on takeoff, you're on the upwind. We have places to land. Could be the golf course, or there's a field to our right. That would probably be somewhat best. They always say to just land straight ahead because, one, you're going to be going into the wind. So if we made that 180-degree turn, we'd have a tailwind, especially on a very windy day like today.
Good.
And again, cut off fuel, cut off spark, but put your flaps down before shutting your electrical off because they're electronically actuated.
Oh man, it's a lot of shit to remember.
It's really, that's why I don't say mixture cut off, fuel selector off, mags, because that's more stuff to memorize. If you just tell yourself fuel and spark, you just think about it. It's kind of a little easier. Cleared left, cleared right, radios are set. Let's see if Caitlin's in the office. And Cross Keys traffic, radio check.
Loud and clear.
Thank you.
Going to the far end here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I always try and take all available runway.
Okay. Plan for departure. Oh wait. Mixture rich. Trim to takeoff. Altitude. Squawk. Icing and lights. Do we need lights on today?
Not necessarily. Not required.
Okay. It's up to you. Whatever you normally do.
I would say on a hazy day, I'll put the lights on during the daytime, but like on a clear day like today, no one's really going to see it.
Heading indicator to compass, and looks like gauges are all still good. Okay. We're going to give, they're flaps, right?
Yep, we don't need any for this takeoff, normal takeoff. Throttle full, rotate 55, climb out at VY.
Right.
Again, VY will just be bringing the horizon to the dash. And on takeoff, because it's windy, stay in ground effect for a hot second. No need to rip the yoke back.
Okay.
Just fly it visual. Just do a visual takeoff. Get your speed first and then climb out. And it's about 10:48, so we're kind of tight on time. What I'm thinking is, what if we just go down there, enter the pattern, do 2 laps, and then do some stalls on the way back. So that way we're at least inbound coming back here. We're cleared behind us. You could say that we're departing 27 to the south.
All right. Cross Keys traffic, Skyhawk, November 52261, taking runway 27, departing to the south, Cross Keys.
And I'll walk you through.
South, right?
Yep. And I'll walk you through majority of this because we're going to want to have right aileron in for takeoff.
All right. Wait. Is that?
So you could even do it now since there's no airflow over the wings. They're not effective doing anything. But as you start speeding up, it's just kind of...
Do we have to watch out for this mower guy or anything?
Nah, Bill will be okay.
Alright. Can you hit the brakes for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
So slide this up a little.
There you go.
Okay. Alright.
It's up to you, rolling takeoff or holding the brakes while doing it. It's up to you.
I'm going to hold them because...
I like to for the first flight of the day. Make sure that you get your performance Throttle's 2,000. We got static RPM achieved.
Yep.
Oil temp pressure's in the green. Runway heading inside now. Brakes release. Heels to the floor. Toes on the bottom portion of the pedal only. And that right rudder goes in. Add some right aileron just a little bit. There you go. And a little bit of back pressure, the tiniest bit. Now you can start rotating.
Apologies.
Yep. And just hold the nose down like that, how you have it.
That was a little
And now you go ahead and start climbing out.
That was a little too rough, yeah.
It's okay. I'd say you're doing okay. These winds are going to work you up here. It's fine. You're just kind of using that rudder to hold heading away, or keep that self-coordinated.
Keep it coming. I guess the mic jack isn't fixed yet.
Nah. And just reminded me of that too, so we went full power. No birds, no nothing. 700 feet clear left.
Alright.
And engine instruments are still in the green. So we can continue flying away from the airport. And then we'll just fly to that green field straight ahead.
Roger.
And crossing 1,000 feet, you do your cruise climb checklist. So that's 85 knots. That way you push the nose down. You can see and avoid traffic a little better. Continue having full throttle in. Oil temperature and pressure's in the green. You would lean the mixture above 3,000. So if we took off of a runway from 2,000 feet AG or 2,000 feet MSL,
Right.
at this point we'd probably be leaning the engine, but we didn't. So we can keep it full rich. And then we're already ready to start leveling off here. And cross keys traffic, White Skyhawk 261 departing the left crosswind, runway 27 to the south, cross keys. There you go, pitch power, set, trim your setting.
Still going up.
Good traffic test with Skyhawk, 1318 Quebec. We are 4 miles, 3.5 miles to the
Oops,
south.
I'm not going on course.
Good traffic.
Actually may have a little bit too much right rudder in.
Okay.
There you go. And then, so you have the practice field, you have the 3 lakes or 4 lakes. There's 1, 2.
I see him.
There's more than just that. But anyways, 55 will be right up here. It's obviously hard to see because we're low, so if you ever got lost, the first thing to do would be to climb.
Right.
But, I mean, if you climb, we're penetrating the Bravo, so you kind of have to be careful there too. So just use these lakes as a reference. But let's see, now that we're past the green field, we are clear of the Bravo shelf of 2,000 feet, so technically we can start climbing up to 2,000 if we wanted to.
Okay.
And the winds aloft were 334 at 22 knots. So you can start a climb again, so it'll be your climb checklist, full throttle, 85 knots, and engine instruments in the green. I just want to verify that, because as you go full throttle, that your oil temp and pressure aren't skyrocketing or something, or oil pressure's all the way down low and temperature's high.
We're going well faster than, I guess I need to pull up more.
Yep.
We're going to level out here anyway, so.
That ground speed might have almost been $120 there, I don't know. And then once you feel stabilized, so first thing you're going to do is aviate, navigate, communicate. So before we start this, I mean, we already have 55 here, but let's get back to aviating. So get your cruise checklist out. And we'll verify that the aircraft's in the cruise configuration.
Power set.
131 Quebec. We are short final for runway 30. Good.
Trim is set. Mixture. We're not leaning here, are we?
Nope.
Okay. Heading indicator compass.
Skyhawk 501.
So you can bug your heading if you want.
Landing lights. We never turned them on.
Nope.
All right.
And then for navigate, so now from 2,000 feet, we are from the lake there. The lake to Millville might be about 3 miles. So we are from the lake probably 10 miles,
Okay.
I'd say. I'll look here so that way we have an idea. Alright, we are about 8.5 miles. So let's say you didn't have GPS, which we don't, and you were flying VFR. I mean, who's going to know the difference between 8.5 to 10 miles? Yes,
Right.
maybe if there's other traffic around you, you want to be more specific, but you know, generally this is good.
Okay.
So we can start tuning into Millville's radio, so you can get 1230 up top and on the bottom. And we will want to get the weather, so now we're transmitting on COM 2, but we're listening COM 1. The only way to listen on COM 2 would be to turn the volume up down here.
What?
That's the only difference really, is just turning the volume up. You could put 119.6 though on COM 1. We just happen to hear better on COM 1 than we do on COM 2.
Minus 09er Celsius. Altimeter 3018. Remarks. Density altitude minus 5.
Maybe you want, you could turn this up too.
Millville Municipal Airport. Automated weather observation 1456 Zulu. Wind 320 at 12. Peak gusts 21.
320.
Visibility 10.
So I would bug your heading of 320, so that way we know where the winds are coming from.
Dew point minus
You already know what you're
Celsius.
navigating to, so we're just looking straight ahead.
3018. Remarks.
There's a guy
The altitude
1,000 feet above us, 4 miles
500.
behind us on our 7 o'clock.
Millville Municipal Airport. Automated weather observation 1456 Zulu. Wind.
Now, should I be headed towards Millville?
At 12. Peak gusts
So 12
21.
gusting to 21, so 12 gusting 21, visibility 10.
Sky condition clear. Temperature
Clear skies.
12 Celsius. Dew point minus 09er Celsius. Altimeter 3018.
So you can put 3018 in there,
Density altitude minus 500.
and minus 500 on density
Millville
altitude, so we're going to have good
Municipal Airport.
performance.
Automated
And
weather
then you can put
observation
1230 back in.
There's so much to do.
Well, we have a fast ground speed too, so we're going to get there kind of quick.
7 Sierra Alpha on downwind 32 Millville.
And I'll get that climb back into
Yeah.
2000.
Traffic acquisition in whiskey, right downwind runway 32, short approach on the runway, stop and go, Millville.
There you go, good job. As that right wing started coming up, it was just because you needed to drop it back down with the right rudder. I'll be looking out for the guy behind us.
Okay.
But we'll maintain 2000, fly directly towards the field, or even fly slightly to the right because we're landing 3-2. So 3-2 is on the left side. We want to go to the opposite side of that, which is 1-4. And we'll do a teardrop entry.
So traffic Skyhawk, left base 32 Millville.
And we could start making radio calls. I would say we're about 6 miles.
Okay.
Probably even less than that by
So,
now. But
what are we saying? We're entering the teardrop for
Runway 32.
For 32?
Stop and go.
about 6 miles out. We're going to be, so Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is 6 miles north of the field, or let's say 5 miles by this time. 5 miles north of the field, 2,000 feet. We're overflying, and we're going to do the teardrop entry to the left downwind, runway 32.
Millville traffic, Skyhawk, November 52261, about 5 miles north of the field, 2,000 feet, crossing the airport in a teardrop for the left downwind runway 32, Millville.
Oh, traffic, Skyhawk, short final, 32, Millville.
You got everything in there that you needed to. Who you are, where you're at, what you're doing.
And most traffic asking through rate about 6 miles to the northeast. We'll follow that Skyhawk to receive most traffic.
Okay, so he's following us then. It's just, he's probably the target back here that I've been looking for.
Right. Oh, jeez.
Let's say it ever got really bumpy out here, like you can't really control altitude. Best thing to do is try to pitch, pull that power back, slow the plane down.
Right.
And you just want to be below maneuvering speed and accept some deviation. But you really just try and hold an attitude.
Traffic. What is that?
There's a helicopter and a Cessna down there.
Okay. So am I descending at this point?
No, you can if you want to get there 2,000 feet.
Right on wing runway 32.
There's a helicopter right here.
Taxi to 32, Millville.
2 kilo inbound on the RNAV GPS runway 35 approach, show by inbound.
Can you try and wiggle your headset jacks? I'll take controls real quick.
Your control.
There you go. Nice.
And wing field Arctic 256 Fox South, so final for 2-4 wings.
Alright, when able, you can take it back when you feel comfortable.
Alright.
Your controls?
My controls.
Robbinsville helicopter 98 Echo Romeo, runway 19 on the final. Sorry, 29 on the final.
Oh, there's a helicopter on the runway.
I have this guy. And Millville traffic. White Skyhawk 261 is over the field. 2,000 feet. I have the left crosswind traffic in sight. We're going to do a teardrop entry. Left downwind, runway 32. And I think we're number 2 Millville traffic.
Monmouth traffic, King Air 5 to the north for a right base, runway 32, not Monmouth. Millville traffic, Skyhawk 70 Alpha, left downwind 32 Millville.
Cool, that's 7. You can start that descent. You can start pulling power back. The helicopter's doing right traffic. And as we do this, you want to be somewhat far enough from the field that you're not going to descend on top of another Cessna.
Right. On the practice COI T2 approach, we're going to break off about 4 miles to the north and depart.
You can start clearing to the right, so we're cleared right. And you can start doing that right turn here. So this is going to be your steepest turn because the winds are blowing us away from the airport.
Okay.
And as you bring it back in, it'll start to shallow out the bank. And I think he's going to end up doing a left crosswind entry.
Okay.
If I had to guess. But he's probably doing that because he's flying the instrument approach in, I think.
Even have the airport foot there.
I have that guy. Start turning more.
So I didn't know what you were pointing at.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's going to go behind us. It looks like they're leaving enough room for us to get in. So now just get your 3/4 of a mile distance, possibly to the right of that water tower, just slightly.
Okay.
And you just need 100 more feet. And Millville traffic. White Skyhawk 261 is established on the left downwind, runway 32, number 2, Millville traffic. Just entering the downwind in sight. Okay. I think we stopped on each other.
Final 32, touch and go.
Let's watch the altitude.
Millville traffic, right downwind, runway
let's give it a little bit of
32,
to the right.
approach on the runway number 2 behind limit traffic.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the other runway.
Oh, okay.
Dang it.
This first one, we'll do a low approach. Right here's your beam, your touchdown point, so pull the power back. Fuel selector is on both. Your lights are already on as required. Carb heat, mixture, and then 10 degrees below 110. Then you can start turning that left. Clear left first. I don't know where that helicopter went. He's somewhere over here. Make sure you push the nose down through that. There you go. Push the nose down a little bit more aggressively. There you go.
Millville traffic, Skyhawk 808, downwind runway 32, Millville traffic.
And Millville traffic, Augusta Lima Whiskey, short final 32.
Short final 3-2.
We didn't call our base. Am I turning now?
And Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is turning final 32 behind Lima Whiskey, Milo. Yeah,
Chopper.
keep that nose down, look at that speed. And
Helicopter.
power back. Yep. Yeah, it's hard to find him.
He's right in front of us.
Yeah, he's on the runway.
Yeah.
I think when he called short final, he's like literally over the numbers.
Is he gonna get out of our way?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We could always sidestep. Pull that power all the way to idle because we're high.
That's at idle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll keep flaps 20 degrees.
Okay, I didn't put it in 20. Did you do that? Go ahead.
And Melville traffic, White Sky 261. We're short final 32. We're actually going to sidestep to the left of the helicopter. Melville traffic.
Oh.
And you can start adding some power here. And no sweat, we were planning on doing a low approach anyways. Alright, you can add some power here.
Please on traffic, Cessna 140 Uniform Delta is about 4 miles to the northeast. We're breaking off to the southeast and departing the area.
We got a full power?
Traffic.
Traffic, Skyhawk.
Yeah, you guys
I'm at
start going
cruise
full
power.
throttle.
Okay.
Go full throttle, carb heat in.
And Miller traffic, Augusta Lima Whiskey on the go, parallel 32. Left traffic, stop and go, Miller.
Oh, he's doing left traffic now, okay. And continue climbing at 60.
Miller
Stay-
traffic, Skyhawk 808.
And you can start going
Final
flaps
full
up.
runway 32, Miller
And just
traffic.
smoothly in increments.
Melville's and Skyhawk 6 Bravo
Come
Sierra
on, get up there.
crossing runway 28. Melville.
He sometimes does left traffic because I think it's just easier if we're on the same pattern anyways.
Right.
And he's a helicopter test pilot. Clear at 800 feet. We'll clear left side. It's a little nutty going on over here. And flaps are up on each side.
Miller traffic, Skyhawk.
Engine instruments are in the green.
32, Miller.
And you can clear left. And Mobile traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is turning left crosswind, runway 32, Mobile traffic.
Traffic, advise the back, final 269.
And level off 1,100. Pitch power trim. And you can clear left again. I do not have him in sight.
I got him.
Oh, you did? Cool.
Yep.
Advise the back, final 269.
So try and use the horizon a little bit more.
Alright, okay.
Miller traffic, Skyhawk, short final 32, Papa.
I think I can already tell just because I gave you all these numbers for your airspeed. Now you're looking inside.
Yes.
But before you're doing the horizon really well, so just keep looking at the horizon. And mobile traffic, White Sky 261 is midfield left downwind, runway 32 behind the helicopter, mobile traffic. And maintain altitude, so you can do your before landing checklist here, but maintain altitude.
Lima Whiskey, we'll do 360 on the left downwind, and we're going behind the
Left
traffic.
10, right?
Okay, yeah, you go ahead. Oh, get carb heat in as well.
Yep.
And now I think he's going to go behind us.
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing. So you can start that descent. Yeah, I think he's going to give us a right of way this time since he took a little bit of time last time. So you can go ahead and keep the nose down, use the horizon, get the horizon at the midpoint of the windshield. We're on left base. You can keep wings level. Airspeed's a little fast, so you can pull the power back to help compensate as well as we have. And then keep 10 degrees until we get on final, because these winds are really blowing us away from the field.
Okay.
So you can start almost turning towards the field. We'll keep 10 degrees until we get closer for safety. And Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is turning final, runway 32, Millville traffic.
Miller traffic, Skyhawk 70 Alpha, left crosswind 32.
And 80 knots here. So you know, for pilot etiquette in a way, if you got comfortable, you could add a little power and keep the nose down to get closer to the field, just because we're far away from it.
Okay.
And you're starting to get your lights in here.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, there we go.
Because you have that strong headwind, it's not going to be difficult to slow the plane down as we get closer.
We're keeping 10, you said?
Yeah, let's keep 10 for a little bit here, until we get over airport property. Let's say at these trees go 20 degrees. Alright, you're below 85. And we said our approach speed is going to be 70 degrees, or 70 knots today. So you can go 20 degrees. And just start bringing that power back. Windsock showing a crosswind from our right. So we're going to try and plant the right wheel down. You can try and make this a landing. Power off distance to land, pull the power to idle. And flare, once you get a little closer to the ground, slowly start bringing. So let it rest. There you go, more back pressure.
Oh, geez.
Alright, more back pressure. Okay, hold it. Hold a lot of back pressure and right
Double traffic.
Go left rudder.
Lima Whiskey is on final
And
runway
you can go flaps up
32.
first.
We're going to be rapid descent.
Carb
and
heat
a
in.
turn to the runway, and it'll be a
And then full throttle.
Over. Double traffic, Skyhawk 70.
And don't put forward pressure. Go full throttle. And then you can start flaring. You're at 55. Keep right hand on throttle the whole time. Guard it. Start bringing that nose up. You can bring the nose up. And Millville traffic, White Sky 261, touch and go, 32, left close traffic, Millville.
Oof.
Alright, start bringing that nose up some more, get that 74 knots. That way you get your altitude, and we don't get too far away from the airport.
Temperatures, pressure, good.
Double traffic, Skyhawk, left base 32, Millville.
That one, I think you're just aiming to 3-point the wheels a little bit.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I got to work on this, obviously.
Just try and flare enough to keep only the rear wheels to touch down and to not let the nose wheel touch. Do it as if you don't have a nose wheel. You're landing without a nose wheel. You're going to hold it off as long as possible. And 800 feet, and watch that we've been kind of drifting to the left. The winds are also going to push us to the left anyways, so now we're going to be pretty left of the runway. Clear left.
Lima Whiskey will sidestep to the right before you get here.
Looks good. I'll try and get like one more in, and we'll do some stalls on the way back. If it makes sense, or we'll just practice steep turns. And 1,100. So there's your 90-degree marking on your heading indicator. Alright, he's doing touch and go. Stop and go. You can clear left again. So try and use that dirt bike track and the water tower as a reference. And horizon set perfectly. Maintaining altitude really well. And rudder's set too. This plane's been flying pretty coordinated.
Number 694 Sierra Papa is 9 miles northeast of Brazil.
It's a little wide, huh?
Straight in for runway.
Slightly. And the winds are going to blow you away from it, so. And Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is left downwind runway 32. If that Cessna's on the ground ready to go, we'll give you time. Millville traffic.
Little Skyhawk 6 Bravo Sierra, departing 32 into the southwest Millville.
Alright, just watch you lost 100 feet there. I'm going to set you back up so every landing's the same landing.
Okay.
So we're going to just kind of get our 1,100 feet. And then now do your before landing check. I actually gave you 200 feet there.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright, so...
And pull that power back 15, slow it down first. Slow your airplane down.
Alright, so 4 lights, carb heat, mixture foliage.
10 degrees, and then we're going to try and get this done quick so we can turn left base here.
Full traffic, Skyhawk 70 Alpha, clear 32 Millville.
Alright, helicopter's on the right traffic pattern now. And just keep that nose down slightly a little bit more.
I keep forgetting where...
Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is left base, runway 32, Lima Whiskey in sight, Millville traffic. Keep that power back. We're a little high here on altitude.
Seems to be my MO.
And you can go 20 degrees here because we'll probably need it to help us get down.
And on the traffic, Augusta Lima Whiskey, turning right base, runway 32, number 2.
Alright, get your pitch set for 70 knots. And use your trim to help hold it so you can almost take your hands off the yoke. And Millville traffic, White Scout 261 is short final, runway 32. It'll be a touch and go to the north, Millville traffic. Alright, so airspeed's looking good. Looks like we're getting a smooth, stabilized descent right here.
5 miles northeast of field, will be straight in for runway 32, Millville traffic. And Millville traffic, Augusta Lima Whiskey, final runway 32, number 2.
Alright, short final, power off distance to land, pull power to idle, and smoothly start to apply back pressure. Just the smallest amount, so like a little bit, hold it, a little bit. As it gets close to the ground, we just go a little bit more. Keep going a little bit more, keep going more. Just more. And just keep going even more until it's all the way in your lap almost. And then make sure your hands getting ready. So go flaps up first, carb heat in, and then full throttle. So that way you give it time to verify the flaps went up. So they did, and now you can go full throttle. And just keep using your feet here. Hold that center line. 55 knots, airspeed's alive. And start pitching for 74. That was nice because we got a direct headwind down the runway that time. Last one was a little bit of a cross one. Alright, then trim it out so that way you can take your hands off the yoke. Get the airplane to fly for you. And at this point all you need to do is keep it coordinated with rudder. And that should just take, holding it in place and then not letting it move really, unless you start getting one wing picking up. And Millville traffic, White Scout 261 is upwind, runway 32. It'll be a right turn out to the north, Millville traffic. Alright, and technically if you're going to do a right turn out, helicopter patterns, right turns, we're supposed to kind of turn out on a 45, so if you use a 45 marker here, so you go ahead and turn right, so that way your yellow needle, your heading bug is on a 45 degree.
Runway 32.
Cleared right.
And Mama traffic, coming back is, we're going to be on a upwind for 3.
So now we have our 45. Now if you look straight ahead, you have that waste plant, whatever it is. We just fly to that and use that as a visual reference.
On the go, runway 32. Millville traffic,
cleared of 1,000 feet. So now our cruise climb check. 85 knots. Oil temperature and pressure says we can continue going away from the airport. And I don't have any traffic out here. I'll hit this button here, zoom out, so that way we get a 6-mile bubble around us. There's nobody straight ahead on ADSB. And we could, we'll use our 2,000 feet again.
Okay.
Double check something. And we'll follow cruise check.
45 is downwind.
Alright, so you do your cruise checklist. Verify we're set up.
Power is set. Trim is set. Make sure we're not leaning. Compass.
That's 360 here. so it looks set up pretty good.
Oh, that's what we're checking?
Yeah, making sure
okay.
they didn't precess.
Okay. Oh, heading indicator to matches compass.
Yeah.
Now I understand, okay.
I was questioning that too when I saw you do it earlier. I was wondering, I was like,
On the traffic, we got a 44, just north of the outer bridge on station, doing orbit 700.
yeah, it's because your suction. If you're getting to a Cessna that has any of the hoses or something like that, or
Right.
shot, then you start getting this heading indicator starts precessing and it just starts spinning at its own will. So we have this visual reference. We got Route 55 off our right, so now we can continue tracking Route 55.
Runway 32, stop and go, Millville.
Just follow 55?
Yep.
Good.
And
Do
I have bottles?
For the final 32, stop and go.
might even want to just do that, because it's a little bumpy out here. You don't happen to have your own pair of foggles, do you?
Foggles? No. Was that you said foggle?
Yeah.
No, I don't have them.
Now that I think of it, I think I stole the foggles out of this plane and put them in another plane.
Runway 32, Delta traffic.
I'm going to bring my seat back real quick. Nope, no foggles. By the way, can you feel the center of gravity move back?
I did. I felt it. I had to nose down a little bit when you slid back there.
Alright, what we'll do is keep ourselves directly over 55 and we'll start doing some steep turns. I think stalls might be slightly difficult. Now it feels kind of comfortable. You want to test out the stall horn?
Sure.
See if it got fixed.
Thought I heard it on landing, but...
Alright, so I'm going to switch this to 128 because that doesn't really apply to us anymore. Alright, so let's go into a power on stall first.
Sure.
So essentially we're just taking off. And because we need to do this, we're practicing for your check ride, right? So first thing we're going to do is 90-degree clearing turns to verify if the area is safe. So I'm going to do this from start to finish as if you had to demonstrate this to an examiner. So we clear left, we clear right. We're in the cruise configuration where we're just cruise the aircraft out. You could hold whatever speed you're doing and just do a standard rate turn to the left. You know, get your standard rate set. Okay, standard rate set. Now we're just going to sweep the horizon. So keep the eyes on the horizon.
We're about 7 miles away.
And we have our 90-degree reference point, which could have been this lake here.
Right.
Looks good. And we'll sweep back to the right 90 degrees. We'll just use Route 55. So we have a visual reference of Route 55. We want to bug that heading. And ideally, if you're doing this power on stall, you have clouds. You can use clouds as a reference because we're about to bring the nose up pretty high, and you're going to lose reference to the ground. Essentially, that's why we're practicing this maneuver, is one, to know what that sight picture looks like, which is just nothing but blue sky. So you should never be in that config. You know, you should never have the nose pointed up that high while flying this plane in a traffic pattern or anywhere really. And we need to know how to recover. So I'll walk you through the recovery.
Okay.
But as soon as we hear the stall horn, all you have to do is just push the nose forward. That's really it. This whole time we're going to be using your feet, so you're never going to chase your heading with your ailerons.
Okay.
You're going to chase your heading with your rudder. So by chasing your heading with your rudder, you're probably going to be keeping the plane coordinated for the most part. So we're trying to keep coordinated flight. The yoke should be neutral at all times, and you're only applying back pressure. So to start the power on stall, we're going to first slow the plane down. So you could do your before landing checklist. So pull the power to 1500 RPM to slow it down. As you do that, just maintain altitude. Fuel selectors on both for this maneuver. Lights, carb heat, you can pull that out. Mixture's full rich, and we're going to keep flaps up because it's the departure stall, so we're taking off.
Okay.
So we're just going to slow down to 55 knots because that makes sense. We're taking off, so we need to be at rotation speed. And it is up to you. If you use trim, just know it's going to bite you later when we do the recovery. You don't want the nose to shoot up even more on you. So it's kind of one of those where it'd be maybe best to just, force it up.
I put it back.
And we're just going to take it to the stall horn. We're not going to make the plane do anything crazy here. So you keep applying more back pressure to get that 55. The more speed you bleed off now, essentially it's going to be easier, or you're going to get into that power on stall a little bit faster. So we don't have to bleed off the speed later. All right, 55 knots, go ahead and let's do our takeoff. So full throttle, carb heat in. As you do that, right turning tendencies, so add right rudder. We're going to maintain heading with rudder and apply a lot of back pressure. We're just going to get into that sight picture that, you're chasing altitude here. I don't hear that. Oh, there it is. It's working. Push the nose down and just keep using your feet. Right rudder, more right rudder. Now go ahead and climb at 60 knots because you just stalled above the runway. So now we got to clear the trees above the runway. And don't rip the nose up very abruptly. Just go for 60 and just do it nice and smooth. So go ahead and keep going. 10 degrees off heading. Just use right rudder to get there.
All right, we're going at 030, right?
Yep.
Lincoln Park traffic, Skyhawk.
All right, let's say we cleared our trees and runway.
East for a...
and you can go ahead and start leveling off here.
Originally traffic,
and you go ahead and pull that power back.
Runway 30, originally traffic.
Now we're going to go into a power off stall. Let me double check airspace here. We should be under the 3,500 foot Bravo shelf. Alright, we still got a good amount of room here.
Okay.
That was a power on stall. The biggest thing is you just cannot use aileron. If you use aileron, you're going to increase the rotations and the spin. You're stalling because one wing is stalled, or you're going to spin because one wing is stalled more than the other.
Right.
So, therefore, the only effective flight
runway 30 for a full stop. Original traffic.
Flight control that's effective is going to be your rudder, or vertical stabilizer. We can go into a power off stall. So go ahead and, we've already cleared the area, cleared left and right. Go ahead and pull that power back to 1,500 RPM.
Cross your traffic track for it, Echo is 3 miles south of the airport.
And maintain altitude while doing it. Go fuel selector both, lights, carb heat, pull out, mixture's full rich, and then 10 degrees of flaps below 110. And you're already below 85, so just slap the flap lever down.
All the way down?
Yep. And now we're going to get into a 500 foot per minute descent rate. So go ahead and pitch for airspeed of 65 knots, like your normal descent, and add power as needed to control the vertical speed of 500 foot per minute.
Oh wait, I'm going too.
Yep, vertical speed's a little fast, so you just add the tiniest bit of power. And on this recovery, all we have to do is do a go-around.
Okay.
It's literally just the go-around procedure. So let's get this thing down to 2,000 feet, and then we'll use 2,000 feet as our flare. So we're going to simulate a high round out. That could happen because there's deer on the runway, and you're freaked out. So you start applying a lot of back pressure to try and clear the deer or whatever, and you forget to add power and carb heat for whatever reason. And then you start hearing the stall horn go off, and we'll need to recover. Alright, so here's 2,000 feet. Don't go below it. Power idle. Pull the nose up. And just keep pulling the nose up. We're climbing over that. We're going to try and clear the deer and climb up. There's the stall horn. Ease the nose forward. Push the horizon halfway on the dash. Full power. As you apply full power, force the nose down. See how we can't see the horizon?
Right.
So we're going to pour.
Okay.
Get for this sight picture so you don't hear the stall horn again.
Right.
Now go full throttle carb heat 20 degrees.
Traffic talk for it, Echo is in the left downwind for...
And then now go ahead and climb out at 60 knots. And watch that we got our heading off, so you just have to add more right rudder. So it's because as you add that full power and the nose down attitude, the nose wants to swing up on you.
Right.
And good thing you got it on video, because it's one of those things where you'll see it happen and then you hear the stall horn go off.
Right.
And that is a big no-no on a check ride. So as you apply full power, you get left turning tendencies, you got to add more right rudder, and the nose goes up, so you have to force it down. So at the same time, you're applying forward pressure,
Right.
right rudder. Alright, we're cleared obstacles and trees. Flaps up smoothly, at least above 60 knots, so go ahead and push the nose forward a little bit. And then flaps are all the way up.
Entering into a left
And then
crosswind for landing runway.
now you just tell your passengers that that was a normal
Right.
routine. We'll get back down towards Cross Keys. Our winds are from a 330 aloft.
Traffic
Okay.
forward, echo turning final.
I want you to do a forward slip on this road here. That's 12 o'clock.
Got it.
You go ahead and pull the power all the way to idle and pull carb heat out as well. There's no traffic around. And you're going to use left aileron and right rudder. So aileron's going to go into the wind. So you're going to go full right rudder to the floor.
Okay.
As you do it, let the nose kind of drop the tiniest bit. And left aileron, just go rudder all the way to the floor.
All the way. Okay.
Yep. And this would be done to rapidly dissipate altitude for traffic,
Right.
or, you know, we're getting near the Bravo. Let's say we're like, oh shoot, we're about to bust the Bravo,
Right.
you know, we could do that. Ideally, that should never happen, but this is just, you know, favorable because we can put it in and then take it out immediately.
Right.
Where the flaps, you know, slightly different.
Am I continuing this?
Yep. Yeah, let's go all the way down to 1,500, and we'll level off. Some updraft right there.
Said 1,500.
Yep. So you can start easing out here a little early,
Okay.
and you just do, you know, level off. Add power, pitch, power, trim. Essentially, those are the three things I demonstrated the other day for you,
Right.
and then now you just did them.
Cool.
And then you go carb heat in, and then
Flying W helicopter 98
the
Echo Romeo.
cut out to the left a
Base
little bit. There's
Runway 1.
the golf course about 11 o'clock, and you could start descending down to 1,000 feet. We're probably 4 miles south of the airport. Cross Keys traffic, White Skyhawk 261, about 4 miles south of the field, 1,500 feet inbound, left downwind entry to runway 27, Cross Keys.
Okay, so that's the airport, right?
Yep.
Okay. And where is this golf course? There it is. I got it. Okay.
Yep. And we got 300 feet to go.
Flying W helicopter 98 Echo Romeo. Runway 1 on my final.
And I don't know if that was the 172 taxiing out or the Caravan getting ready for takeoff. And there's 1,000 feet.
To the traffic, White Skyhawk, right crosswind, turning downwind.
Pitch, power, trim, and now you can add carb heat back in as well since we don't need that anymore.
Oh boy.
If we need to, what we can do is I'll let you try and get it to the runway, and I'll help assist a little bit. If it's looking a little rough, just do a go around, and then I'll take it in on the next one.
Am I turning here?
Yep, you got it clear right. This one we're going to need a lot of, probably full right aileron upon landing and wheels touching down.
Downwind, where's the traffic?
Where? Oh, there it is.
And winds winds are going to blow us away from the field, similar to Millville. But instead of like kind of looking at the runway, just use the road, the last road in the neighborhood still as a reference. Millville traffic, White Sky 261 entering left downwind runway 27 cross keys. Sorry, I just forgot to make the call.
Sorry.
So just use that as a visual and just stay directly over that road. So do whatever it takes to stay over the last road in the neighborhood that butts up against the tree line.
A little low here.
Yep. So just add full throttle, climb back up. And be aggressive, rip it back, and then slightly before, push the nose back down. There you go. And I pulled back down to 1500, where it'd be my touchdown point.
So we're slowing down. We're going
to the floor.
Oh yeah, sorry, floor.
Left to right. Right's carb heat. Extra 10 degrees. I may want to try and turn base slightly earlier, at least over this road. Just keep looking at that horizon, so keep the nose down. And you can probably pull the power back up a tiny bit. And cross keys traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is left base, 27 cross keys.
So we want to stay inside this road here?
Yeah,
okay.
Approximately. Looks like we're slightly high, so we just pull the power back a little bit, make adjustments.
Starting to visually
get like an idea of what the sight picture's supposed to look like. Hey, it's going to be rough a little bit. Do you actually mind if I take this
one?
No,
I'd be happy if you did.
Yeah, maybe just follow along with me.
Yeah,
I can already
your
tell.
control.
I'm looking at the sock now. It's going to be... But you definitely keep your toes on the porch pedal, and then even follow me on the yoke here, too.
Okay.
And cross keys traffic, White Sky 261 turning final, 27 cross keys. Alright, I'm going to start slowing that speed down, because speed's pretty high here. And there's 20 degrees. And then we just lost about 10 knots. I feel like our tail's kicking up behind us.
Smooth as butter.
Flaps I'm going up because I don't want to regain lift here. Start. Yeah, at one point I had full left rudder in, so that's a sign that you're near the maximum crosswind component.
Oh, okay.
Because that won't, if you're going full rudder and the nose isn't lined up with the runway, that means you're forced to land sideways a little bit or side load it. So.
Right.
And 261's cleared, 27 cross keys. Yeah, it's a little bit of a fun ride.
Yep.
Lights and trim is reset. And 1200 altitude mode.
Oh yeah, sorry. After landing. Flaps are up. We already did that. Mixture's leaned.
So I'm going to go full right too, just since the wind's behind us now on our right.
Okay.
With the yoke. I don't want your leg to get stuck there. That way while taxiing, you keep the left aileron down, right aileron's up. So by going to the right, we're actually, you would think you're going to bank and roll to the right.
Yeah,
but by having that down, that puts down force on the left wing.
Yep. I got all the...
Alright, I'll let you take controls and taxi.
My controls.
Your controls.
Yeah, the quartering winds is one thing I know.
Yeah. And honestly, if you have the flight sim, what I would do is like crank up the crosswind on it and just practice that. Because flying it like, just using the feet and like the yoke at the same time and knowing how much controls to put in, I guess takes a little bit of practice.
It's rough though, because you don't get to feel it like you do in the plane.
That's why I always say it's difficult to teach. But the one thing I always say is just no matter what, keep that nose lined up with the runway.
Sorry, my
And even if you drift to the sides, just still have that nose parallel or lined up with it. So by the time you drift back over with the yoke, you know, it's difficult because you have to find the balance between being aggressive and then not fluttering the controls so quickly that you're actually just causing pilot-induced turbulence.
Right.
And then knowing when to push the nose down and add power because you're about to lose speed or altitude.
Where's this going anyway?
I have no clue. We'll put it by the blue building.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if I'm flying again or not.
If you're not, do you start it up to move it back, or do you just
No, I just push it back.
push it back? Yeah.
Yeah, that way the Hobbs meter doesn't start ticking again.
Right.
You could
Come
bring it
straight
kind of point
in.
towards them and
Yeah.
then make the left turn and have my right wing point at the building.
Whoops.
Then you can get like kind of close to the grass.
Okay. Is this alright?
Yep. That's perfect. Cool. And maybe just like an inch forward or like a foot. I just try and keep the tail clear to the
Okay.
path. We're pretty clear. There you go. That should be good.
Okay.
And then shut down.
Avionics master off.
Lights off. You leave the beacon on?
Yep.
Ground check.
So for this, I go power all the way idle. It already is. You'll go off and then back to both very quickly.
All the way off and then all the way
Yeah,
back.
maybe push a little forward pressure on it,
Okay.
so that way when you go off, it doesn't like lock up and doesn't go back to both. You just want to listen for the engine to shut off and go back. You just do it quick though.
Okay.
I could demonstrate it if you want.
It's up to you.
Doesn't matter. Try it out.
So off and then both?
Yep. The fact that the engine shut down is a good sign,
Okay.
because when now you pull the mixture to cut off, you leave the airplane parked on the ramp and that key's off and everything. You're making sure that if someone put their hand on the prop, it's not going to start the engine.
Okay, I got you. Alright.
Cool.
Sporty little landing.
Yeah, right.
Nice sound.
Yeah, over time. So what that noise is, I mean, it's just a metal on metal. These tracks end up getting worn out.
Right.
They actually have hundreds. This is, you know what a airworthiness directive is?
Yeah.
So these are AD'd every 100 hours. They have to be inspected, because what happens is the locking pin starts to wear this out,
Right.
and then see how that could snap.
Yep.
And then if that snaps and you're doing a takeoff,
Yep.
the seat's just going backwards.
Yep.
You grab the yoke to pull
hold
yourself forward,
yeah.
and then the thing goes into that power on stall.
Yep.
So
Good stuff.
I've had a student do that to me before.
Ouch.
Kind of funny though, because I mean, we're never gonna do it again.
Yeah. Good lesson.
I'm glad they did it with me.
Alright.